It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night, I should be sleeping like a log.
Let it be, let it be. Ooh, when I first saw this production at the Prince of Wales Theatre in 2012, I will say I was a little bit drunk and very much enjoyed the show. So I was looking forward to seeing it again in like a professional manner. So off I went to the Garrick Theatre, where the show is running for a couple of months before the Scottsboro Boys moves in. And I've got to say, I was equally impressed a second time. Now don't go along to Let It Be expecting a full-scale musical, because it's not that. It's not a dramatic telling of the Beatles or anything like that. It's not like Jersey Boys. It's just a really good 2-hour kind of tribute concert to the fabulous music of the Beatles, performed by a group of really talented musicians who are a pretty great cover band. Now, the thing that gets me about jukebox musicals is that they're sometimes just a little bit cheesy. For example, I hated Thriller Live because it seemed like kind of a live X Factor final, and I really didn't like the way it was presented to the audience. But Let It Be absolutely hits the right spot here and doesn't fall down the cringy path, which is really, really great. So when you enter the auditorium of the Garrick Theatre, you sit down and you're not quite sure what to expect. But what is delivered is a fantastic 2 hours, hit after hit from the Beatles' back catalogue. Now the show doesn't really have a storyline or anything like that, but what it does have is a timeline on which it's based. So when the show opens, we're in the Cavern Club in Liverpool, where the Beatles kind of performed their early music. And as we move on, we go to the Royal Variety performance, a stadium in America, a set from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, etc., etc., to the later days of the Beatles. And that's great. It's really nice to see how their music developed. As I said, the group of musicians on stage are absolutely that, fantastic musicians. They're not necessarily actors, but they do give it a little go, you know, they do a couple of impersonations and say famous quotes, for example, quotes from John Lennon, etc., etc. So these guys aren't necessarily actors, I would say musicians first, which then I kind of forgive them because they do sort of struggle a little bit with the Liverpudlian accents, but you know what, they give it a good go. And the important thing is that their music sounds bang on, so there we go. Overall, a ticket to Let It Be is not as expensive as other shows in the West End, and I think that the production really does what it says on the tin. It's a fantastic couple of hours of revelling in the fantastic music of the Beatles. So if you're a Beatles fan, or like me, you know, you like them, you feel a kind of connection to their music, then go along. Like, it won't disappoint you if you're feeling their music.
Let it be.